Hello, we are back on the Great Rabbino. We are doing some live interviews now, and we are connected all the way in Israel with Dannielle Diamant. How are you, Dannielle? How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. So the reason we're doing this episode, besides just having you on the website, which would be great, is because in a little while I'm going to release what I believe, and it's up for debate, is an all-time Jewish or Israel team. NCAA team of women. I've already released the men, and you're on the team. You're a starter on that team. So
that's so awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that honor.
Awesome. I mean, you're on a team with some loaded weapons: Nancy Lieberman, Shay Dacone, Alicia Clark, Sue Bird. So it's got some heavy hitters. So that's awesome. But what I told you earlier is that I couldn't have a team of all guards, right?
Right. Right.
There has to be some size. So we found some people to fill in those gaps. So I want to say hello to you and your puppy. What's the puppy's name?
This is Royal.
Royal.
He is never far away from me.
So we're going to start this conversation off because you're from a legendary basketball family. Your grandfather is Jerry Tarkanian. I'm going to read a quote that you said in Haaretz. You wrote, you said, oh, I just lost it. Look at this. There we go. My grandfather didn't affect me as much on the court, but he definitely had an impact on my loyalty and passion to the game. Explain that a little bit. Like, imagine having a famous coach as a grandfather could have come in handy, but you're saying it just sort of instilled a love for the game for you?
You know, he was more of a grandfather than he was a coach to me. And now that I'm older and I'm playing or have played professionally, I wish I would have taken advantage of that more. Just his mind, he was so intelligent when it came to the game of basketball. You know, I've read some of his books, and it's just like his mind was just so special, you know? But as a kid, I really appreciated that he always took a step back and he was just a grandpa first. And if I had questions or if I wanted him to train me, you know, he would do it completely willingly, but it was never like you have to use him. It was never forced on me, you know? So when I was growing up, it was definitely appreciated. That type of relationship.
Johnson just come over to your house and
No, I didn't. Robert Smith did train me though while I was growing up.
All right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you got to high school, and we talked about this earlier. You won 3 state titles in a row. I'm assuming you were a varsity as a freshman, if that's noting it. What was that? It's like 3. I mean, there's very few who've won 3 high school championships in a row.
And it should have been 4. We were I kid you not, we were robbed with like 0.8 seconds left, I think it was, or something like that. But you know, it was great. When I was a freshman, it was one of those, my club coach always told me, you have to work so hard and be so good that she has no option but to play you, my high school coach. Because, you know, I was just a little, what are you as a freshman, 14 years old playing against girls that were bigger, stronger, more experienced and everything. Sorry, 1 second. And it helped me a lot, you know, especially going into college, because it's the same thing. And then when you get to professional basketball, the same thing. You're always going to be playing with and against people that are stronger and more experienced than you. And, you know, with that comes intelligence with the game. You know, experience is always going to lead to intelligence on how to behave and how to play in certain situations. So it's been nice that I've always had that opportunity to learn from players that are older than me.
Yeah, it's amazing you get to be in the game as a freshman, and even if you're not contributing as much, then what you learn at a young age with playing people above you or better than you, or certainly bigger in stature.
Right.
I played varsity as a sophomore, and I remember the first time I got on the court with a guy who was an all-state player, and I had to guard him, and he was 6'8", and I just was like, there's no way I can guard this guy, right? He's one of the top 15 players in the state. But like, I'm going to be better the next time I step on the court because I had to guard him, right? And so freshman, I imagine that was similar.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, we had a girl who was, I think she's 6'5", 1 year older than me. She ended up playing at Texas, Ashley Gale, and she was so strong, probably one of the strongest players I've ever played against, especially at that age. And I have to play against her every single day at practice for freshman, sophomore, junior. before she graduated. And it helped me a lot, because then when I got to Northwestern, I was playing against Amy Jeske, who was so solid, and she's still stronger than me, bigger than me, more experienced. So it helped me a lot, just, trying to focus and put myself into positions to get better and play against people that were bigger, better, stronger than I was.
So you just mentioned college. You went to Northwestern, did very well there. Why did you choose Northwestern? What was that process like for you?
Northwestern was the perfect combination of everything I was looking for in a college. I had visited the campus on a high school trip one time, loved it, thought it was absolutely beautiful, loved the academics part of it. And then when Coach McEwen went there, I had talked with him and Coach Allie Jacks when they were at George Washington. Loved them, but I knew GW just wasn't the school for me. It was too city for me. Right. So that when they took a job at Northwestern, I was like, okay, everything's just, falling into place. I love the coaching staff. I love the school. Academics is, you can't compare it. And the people there were just outstanding. So I actually committed before my senior year. So it was the only official visit that I even ended up taking. And I literally just came out of my room one day and I was like, Mom, Dad, like, this is where I want to go to school. And they were like, are you sure? Like, you don't want to take your visits? Nothing like that. I said, no, like, this is it, and I'm very happy with my decision. The people there really just made the experience.
Northwestern's an awesome campus. Academically,
stunning.
No chance I would have liked going there. But in terms of like, is there a better campus to live on than Evanston campus? I haven't seen one. So
I don't think so. The only one that, I took a unofficial visit to Harvard, and it's the only campus that I saw that even came close to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So they had a good team, and then you go and you're playing overseas now. Now you're in Israel. We talked a little bit about your Judaism, which is for your family very diverse as you're explaining it. Yes. So what led you to Israel? Tell us a little bit about that story, and now you're playing there.
I don't even know like his official title, if he even had a title. This guy reached out to my dad, to me first. And it was like random on Facebook. And I was like, okay, who are you? This is creepy. I'm not going to respond to you. He ended up reaching out to my dad, asking if I wanted to play with the Israeli national team, because he had seen me play in the Maccabi games in 2009. I went, and right after I graduated high school, before I was starting college, I was like, okay, great. Like, this is going to be a great experience, go have some fun before I start college. And he had seen me play there, and he was looking for, Jewish American girls to come help with the national team. And so he actually talked with my dad. It set it all up. They helped me get my Israeli passport. My dad was born here in Israel, I mean. So it was pretty simple. And then from there, it just kind of, it's become my second home. My first year overseas was in Hungary, and then after that, it's been Israel. I haven't played anywhere else. So
you can tell you're in Israel from the walls. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
I lived there for 2 years.
You really can.
It looks like you're in my bedroom.
Yep, exactly.
So now you're playing overseas, and there've been some. I spoke with Alicia Clark last year, and there have been some quality WNBA players to go over there. So obviously we know that Israel men's basketball is on an international level now. Basically, if you get cut from the NBA, you do your best to come over to Israel to play and get back to the NBA. I mean, it's really in the top 4 countries. How is it like for women's basketball over there? Obviously, you have the Shea Derones and Alicia Clark who come over, but are there other WNBA players? Do you feel the level is really competitive? What's women's basketball, the state of women's basketball right now in Israel?
I think it depends on the year. And every year, I will say we've had a good handful of WNBA players that come and play here. And as far as the Americans are concerned, for the most part, if they're not actually in the WNBA, they're WNBA caliber. They make it to training camps and just get cut for one reason or another, or they just don't play in the league, but they could if they wanted to. So like I said, it just depends. It just depends on the year with that. But I like the league here. It's been very good to me. And like I said, the competition level depends on the year. It also depends on, which Israelis you have playing, the more experienced ones. It's funny, like last year almost all the experienced Israelis retired all at once. But, you know, like that just provides room for growth. So
Right.
it's time for the young Israelis, you know, to really hone in on their game and step up their talent so that they can become, you know, the next Shai Narons, the next Nama Shafirs, and all that.
Yeah, you mentioned two really great names who made a big impact here in America, and obviously have done the same in Israel. What's the league like now during COVID-19? Was it going on this summer? Was it shut down? What are players doing?
Well, so I came back in February just to play for the rest of the season. And then middle of March, it was officially canceled. So wasn't too long of a time here. And then we've just been here ever since.
Where are you? You're in Tel Aviv?
Right now I'm in Herzliya.
Herzliya.
Staying at my in-laws. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I know a lot of the girls are still, now things have started to open up again. So people have been practicing. The national team girls are having practices, I think 3 times a week now. You know, just kind of doing what they would on the off season, because there's nothing else that you can do basketball wise here. The men's league restarted, but the women's league is officially canceled. So that won't be a thing.
Yeah, it seems like Israel is going back to life pretty much. Not perfectly, but much quicker and better than America is right now in this situation. And saw pictures of people without masks, not social distancing, and not being yelled at for it, you know, being like it was normal activity. So that seems...
Well, I think they're technically supposed to be wearing masks and practicing social distancing. But, you know, things are very relaxed here. One, in general, everything is relaxed here in Israel. It's just, you know, their culture. But I don't know what the difference is between how Israel has handled it versus other countries, but they seem to have been doing a great job because, you know, things have been open and there hasn't been an influx in numbers. So
yeah, it's great. It's one more reason for me to join you out there. I'm going to give you a piece of advice that Sue Bird, I told you I have Lindsay Whalen. I moved some of my Jewish books because I'm doing this for my office. Lindsay Whalen, Sue Bird. So one of the first programs I ever did at synagogue, Sue Bird was coming to town, and I have 2 daughters who I'm dying to play basketball, and the older one's showing some interest. And I asked Sue, I said, let's say you have a father who is like obsessed with basketball and would love his daughter to play. Do I get her in right now? Do I start? And mind you, my daughter's like 1 at the time. She was holding the ball. She dropped it. Sue gave it to her. I was like, Annie, you know, Sue Bird just passed you the ball. Like, this is a monumental moment. Dad's crying. So she said to not push kids towards a specific sport. Let them play whatever they want, gravitate. She actually said she was a better soccer player for the longest time, and it wasn't until basically UConn that she was this great basketball player. So any advice you have to like young women who are looking to play basketball, maybe overseas, maybe in the WNBA, maybe just in college, is there something you've looked back on and focused your energy on that made you the player you are?
That's a really good question.
I hope I'm a good interviewer.
Yes, it is. You know, good questions make good interviewers. But you know, when I think of like the turning point for me, you know, I started playing basketball when I was 9. I also played soccer, and what else did I play? I think that was it. I wasn't really into softball or a whole lot of other sports. Like I did golf, tennis, but that's just because that's what my parents would play like on their own time. You know, but the summer between my sophomore and my junior year in high school, I finally got my car. I had just turned 16, and I literally spent every waking moment practically in the gym. I would wake up, eat, go do a workout, come home, eat, take a nap, wake up, go do a workout. I was doing like 3 or 4 workouts a day. And it was never my parents pushed me to do it. It was just something within me that I was like, I know this is my time to get better, and I want to go play collegiately. So this is what I need to do in order to get better. When I was younger in middle school, I was the only person. I went to a very academic school for elementary and then 6th and 7th. So I was the only person that actually played basketball seriously. Everyone else was just for fun. So I played positions 1 through 5, you know, and that helped me with my ball handling skills throughout high school. when I got to college, they didn't need me anymore. So, you know, kind of got put on the back burner, but it was nice because I had, you know, like a guard coach, I had a post coach, and then I would just go to the gym by myself later that evening and like get shots up or whatnot, you know? So it was really that summer when I just put in the hard work that was really just the turning point for me.
That's great. That's great advice.
Yeah.
And people should listen because, yeah, I mean, I think that's with everything. You put the work in, whoever putting in the extra work, wherever that is,
Right.
it really ends up being in position to succeed. So I want to finally plug some of the things that you said you were working on. You're building an online company. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the company itself is already built.
Okay.
As far as the workout programs and the nutrition plans and stuff, I'm just building my own. Like I run challenge groups based off of those nutrition and fitness plans, just to help keep people, you know, accountable and motivated. My goal for when I do build like a good number team is to have like a tight niche of people that can celebrate achievements and, you know, just you always have cheerleaders in this group, and then when you struggle, there's people there to help pick you up, whether that be in your fitness and wellness journey or, you know, any parts of your life. That's my goal because I miss having a team when I'm not on a team. And the girls in my group, just other coaches with this community, they have built me up, goodness, more days than I can count probably, and especially in the last 6 months or so. That, you know, it's invaluable having a team behind you to just hold you in place and keep you grounded. So
That's awesome. And
that's my goal.
Where can people find you on social media if they're looking to follow your journey?
Dannielle_Diamant, 2 N's, 2 L's in my first name.
Instagram, Twitter?
Mostly Instagram. You can add me on Facebook, but whatever I do on Instagram, I pretty much just upload onto Facebook too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This was great. I'm glad.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to release I'm going to release the full team coming up. There's some honorable mentions, coaches, starting 5, bench players, and it's a really good team. It's guard loaded. So there might be some,
I'm sure.
right, added some of the height to make room, but we couldn't have, you know, it can't, everyone can't be under 5'5" if you're going to.
Right.
So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciated this.
Awesome. All right.